Hey guys, welcome to another scary story. Today's story comes from a user. There's a locked room in my parents' house that's been locked for 20 years. So this is one of those stories where people are like, oh, you don't want to go into the basement at night, or you don't want to open that door because whatever is behind there, it doesn't want to come out. So let's take a look into the story. Oh, and if you like this video, please hit that thumbs up button. Consider subscribing and turning on notifications so you can be notified whenever I upload a new video. Okay, so here we go. This happened a long time ago but is still relevant today. I was always scared of one particular place, not since last week. I never wanted to return to that house. Not after what happened when I was 8. But after my father died 2 months ago, I had no choice. He left the house to me in his will. It's a big old house that's alone on the edge of nowhere. But it was filled with memories and love growing up. When I was young, my father used to sit me down and tell me stories about monsters that lived in the closets, under the beds, and behind doors. And always at the end, he'd say, "Don't worry, you're safe here. No monsters can get past me." Then I'd hug him tightly and sleep soundly. Well, almost every night, one night when I was a kid, I got curious. Got down on my knees and put my eye to the keyhole. What I saw was red. Just red, and then something moved. Something with skin. And it blinked. I never told anyone. I just stayed away. Now, fast forward to last week. After my dad passed away, I drove to the house. As I opened the front door, a wave of nostalgia rushed over me. All the furniture was covered with white sheets and boxes stacked against the walls. I went to the kitchen and removed the plastic covering the cupboards. Then, as I reached for the light switch, a note fell to the floor. It read, "Don't open this door no matter what you hear. If you must, turn off the lights before doing so." My dad's handwriting, I remembered. One night when I was a kid, I got curious. Got down on my knees and put my eye to the keyhole. What I saw was red. Just red. And then something moved. Something with skin. And it blinked. I never told anyone. I just stayed away. Now fast forward to last week. After my dad passed away, I drove to the house. As I opened the front door, a wave of nostalgia rushed over me. All the furniture was covered with white sheets and boxes stacked against the walls. I went to the kitchen and removed the plastic covering the cupboards. Then, as I reached for the light switch, a note fell to the floor. It read, "Don't open this door no matter what you hear. If you must, turn off the lights before doing so." My dad's handwriting. I felt a chill run down my spine. I knew exactly which door he meant. The old oak door at the end of the hallway. It was always locked and off limits. Whenever I'd ask him why, he'd reply, "Some things are best left unknown, son. Some mysteries are not meant to be solved. Just trust me." But his evasive answer only fueled my curiosity. The next day, I went back to the house to start packing up my belongings. The house had been empty for 2 months, so everything was covered in dust. As I walked down the hallway towards the forbidden store, I noticed a small hole in its center. I stopped dead in my tracks. The paint was peeling around it, and there was a faint humming sound coming from behind it. I could have sworn the door was locked. Had it always been like this? I returned to the kitchen to find the note. Maybe it was a joke, some strange prank my dad had played. I searched everywhere for him, calling out his name, but received no answer. Had he written the note and disappeared? Or was he trying to warn me? I found the envelope again. It was still sealed, but I couldn't resist opening it. Inside was a photograph of the door, the one I had just seen, but there was something different. On the left side, peering through the keyhole, was an eye. I gasped and dropped the photo. It stared back at me unwavering. That evening, I decided to confront my fears. Armed with a flashlight, I walked back into the hallway. The door seemed to pulse with a faint light. I felt my heart pounding in my chest. Taking a deep breath, I pushed the door open slowly. But as the hinges creaked, a gust of wind slammed the door shut. I jumped back in fright, my flashlight clattering to the ground. But as I bent down to pick it up, I saw something strange. The keyhole was gone. Where moments before there had been a gaping black hole, now there was nothing. Had I imagined it all? Was I going crazy? Then I heard a knock. At first I thought it was my imagination, but it came again. Tap. Someone or something was on the other side, trying to get out. Panic surged through me. I turned and ran. I could hear heavy footsteps behind me, getting closer. I didn't dare look back. I raced through the house, not knowing which way to go. Finally, bursting through the front door, I collapsed on the lawn. As I lay there catching my breath, I listened intently. Silence. Had whatever was in that room given up? I cautiously made my way back to the door, but it was no longer there. The wall was smooth. The keyhole vanished. Had I imagined the whole thing? Was I losing my mind? I shook my head, trying to clear it. In the following weeks, I tried to put the incident behind me. But strange things began to happen. Objects would move on their own. Doors would slam shut on their own. And every night I would hear scratching sounds coming from within the walls. It sounded like fingernails on wood. Sometimes I could even make out low guttural growls. I called a friend for help. He suggested that I should board up the doorway just to be sure, and we did. We managed to secure it with thick planks of wood and metal bars. But that only made things worse. The scratching and growling became more frequent. One night, unable to take the constant noise, I went to the boarded-up door. I started banging against it, demanding whatever was inside to come out. But as I did, the boards began to splinter and break apart. I screamed as I saw a clawed hand tear through the wood. Its fingers were long and sharp, scraping against the concrete. I barely managed to scramble away as the creature emerged. It slithered out like a snake, revealing a horrifying visage. Its skin was a sickly green, covered in pustules that oozed a black ichor. It had no face, only a gaping maw filled with razor-sharp teeth. It hissed at me, its eyes burning with a malevolent fire. Terror-stricken, I ran as fast as I could. I heard its heavy footsteps behind me, gaining on me. I didn't dare look back. I could hear it snarling, its breath hot on my neck. Suddenly, it loomed over me, its claws extended. And then I woke up, sitting on the cold, hard floor of my childhood bedroom, gasping for breath. The window beside me was shattered, letting in a sliver of sunlight. But it wasn't morning yet. I looked around. I was safe, but then I heard it again. The sound of claws on wood. I ran to the closet and flung open the doors. It was empty. Shaking, I backed away from the closet. That's when I noticed something strange. On the floor in front of the closet, there was a small hole, a keyhole, and peering through it was an eye. It was cold and soulless, staring back at me with a predatory gaze. And then it blinked. Okay, so I feel like this story has some potential, but it also feels like it's missing something. Like, this is one of those stories where you need to build tension. You need to really set the scene. You know, like describe the house, describe the hallway, describe the door. It's such a classic story where you have a door and you don't want to open it because whatever is behind it doesn't want to come out. But this story has a lot of potential. I think if they would have described a little bit more stuff, built up the tension, this could have been a great story. Also, I feel like our narrator is kind of a coward. I mean, obviously he's scared and he's a nice guy and that's fine. But I mean, at one point when he hears the knocking, he just runs away. I'm sorry, but if there's a monster trying to get out of a door, I'm gonna do something about it. Like, if that thing is trying to get out, it's probably trying to eat me. So I'm gonna try to kill it. I'm gonna try to defend myself. But he doesn't do anything. I mean, he gets out of there and that's it. And then he sleeps in his bed like nothing happened. I don't know. That part kind of irritated me. I would have liked it better if he would have done something. But yeah, overall, it's a good story. It's a decent story. It just needs a little bit more detail. But what do you guys think of this story? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Also, if you liked this story, please hit that thumbs up button. Consider subscribing and turning on notifications so you can be notified whenever I upload a new video. And if you want to listen to more scary stories, I suggest you check out this playlist right here. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!